Beautiful individuals. My name is Estrella, and I welcome you to another one of my short stories that are created for your entertainment and benefit of self-reflection. This is our story number 2, woo woo, and this one is called The Grass is Rarely Greener on the Other Side. A story slightly taking the cliche the grass is greener on the other side and demonstrating the irony of such a saying. Our story today begins with a gardener. This man lived through his crops and nature-based life. He owned a small acre with other acres of land surrounding him and his grass. Though he lived for these acres and in these acres, they were acres that he had no right to that surrounded him. And even though the only thing that separated his acre and the remaining acres was the discoloration, his eyes began to wander and the gardener began to wonder. All of our eyes have wandered, and so have our thoughts. The question is whether we should act out on our wonders. It is a single thought after all, or even a festering thought, but acting out on it is strictly turning this thought into existence. Well, the gardener acted out on the thought, and he bought one of those sweet, lovely, green, moist-looking pieces of land in hopes of finally killing his curiosity. Owning this green made him so happy because he finally got the grass that was greener on the other side. How good do we feel when we initially get what we've been wondering about? Finally having that thing that has been so in our curiosity and our possession now for us because we made a way to get it. That feels good. Little guilty pleasures and stuff. Look at that smile on his face. Now, the only thing with the gardener is he wasn't so happy after a time, because after drooling over the grass across his acres that looked so green and so much more appealing than his own, that new grass he thought was a worthwhile investment started looking just like his grass. Discolored, brittle, dead. And he got bored again. The gardener was livid. But, not surprising enough, he had an awesome idea. He decided, once he purchased another acre that he surely observed to be greener, it had no other choice but to stay that way. He was sure of this. It had to. And so he bought another acre of that beautiful grass. This man was very confident in this. Just as we are when we act out of impulse without thinking of any possible consequences that may come when acting without thinking. But guess what? It still blended into his old acres. And at this point, after so many tries, the gardener was discouraged, confused, and simply fed up. All this energy, time, and money he spent on these eye-appealing acres for them to be nothing more than what he had already experienced with his land. He was so angry, he actually confronted the acres, asking why the grass had failed him, immediately assuming it was the grass's fault for not remaining green, because how could he, like we, ever be wrong? And the grass actually answered him. Humbly but honestly, the grass answered, reminding the gardener, "Sir, the grass is only greener where you water it." Now, how relatable is this to us as impulsive, thoughtless, emotion-filled creatures? Look at yourself and your relationships and really understand where the issues are coming from, whether it be a relationship with a lover, a relative, or even the relationship you have with yourself. Have you really been contributing to these situations as they are needed in order to keep the relationship as desirable as they once were? Oftentimes, we fail to realize we are the common denominator to our issues, whether it be doubt, carelessness, neglect. Ask yourself, are you really doing your part? And is it really your grass that's the problem? Thanks to all you beauties for listening to my story. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe because you love yourself enough to connect and you love others enough to help them reflect. Let's grow, learn, and love together. Oh, and don't forget to follow your girl. Mwah. Love you guys.